my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello, my name is Loey, and look, I get it, it's been a while. I will talk all about it at the end. I did not mean to be gone off of YouTube for like 3 weeks. I am back and hopefully better than ever with a video for you guys today on 3 of the scariest, weirdest current TikTok accounts that I have found that you can follow right now. But before we get into today's video, I want to quickly thank the sponsor of today's video, Schoolyard Snacks. Now, a lot of you may be like yours truly. I am a huge snacker. I'm constantly kind of craving something either sweet or salty. I love a good snack and I do love to treat myself, but I'm also trying to be a bit healthier in 2021. Cue Schoolyard Snacks, who makes your favorite snacks ever healthier, even more delicious, and without any artificial ingredients. And Schoolyard Snacks is actually known for creating all of your old favorite childhood snacks without all the carbs or the sugar. These snacks are so good and so popular that they sell out almost instantly, and they're finally back in stock, so I really wanted to tell you guys about them. The snacks that I've tried from them are their keto puffs in cheddar cheese and sour cream and onion. I'll actually taste test for you. I'm eating that whole bag right after this video because that is so freaking good. They have like the craziest crunch you've ever tasted in your life. I also tried the fruity and the peanut butter cereal, but they have so many different flavors of both of these. Okay, so I stayed with my mom for a couple of weeks helping her after a surgery, and it was kind of hard finding places where she and I overlapped in food because she's gluten and like dairy free. I don't eat meat, I don't eat soy. While these snacks do have milk, they're actually lactose free, they're gluten free, they're grain free, they're soy free. And so it's something where I was like, oh man, I've been looking so hard to find like good snacks without a ton of different allergens basically, and I'm really excited to have found these. They're super low in carbs, high in protein, they're fully keto, which is really cool. These guys are delicious, and if you are like yours truly, just looking for a great snack that maybe fits your nutritional needs or is just slightly healthier in general, Schoolyard Snacks is offering my subscribers 10% off of their first order when you click the link down below. They are currently in stock, but probably not much longer because they're known to fly off the shelves. So once again, click the link down below to try yourself some Schoolyard Snacks. Thank you, Schoolyard Snacks, for sponsoring today's video and for keeping me fed. And let's get into 3 of my current favorite accounts from the spooky and scary side of TikTok. Like I said, I have 3 accounts from the scary side of TikTok, horror talk, if you will, for you all today. These have been those videos that I have just been tagged in over and over again. Never forget that you can follow me at LoeyBugXO on TikTok and tag me in anything weird that you find, because that is literally how you guys decide the future of these videos. I find every one of my topics through you guys, so I'm always really appreciative when you find me something particularly weird. And one of those particularly weird accounts is the account thedailygrace. I guess at first I was kind of confused why I was getting so many tags on this account, because when you scroll down to the bottom of the page, like when you look at the videos from when this person first started posting, they're very like lighthearted, just her doing like the guess the gibberish games and hanging out with her stepdad. Like it's very, very lighthearted. It was one of those things where, you know, I automatically go to a profile and I just like start scrolling through this stuff, and I was like, why is everyone tagging me in this? This girl just seems very normal. But on September 20th of 2020, Grace posted a video, and in this video she said, "My new roommate is really fun during the day, but at night she gets kind of weird." In this video, we can see Grace's supposed new roommate staring at her through a crack in the door while sitting alone in the hallway. And this is where it all begins. In the next video, we actually learn the name of the roommate. Her name is Ethel, and Grace addresses her by name in this video as she enters the house to find that it is pitch black inside. All of the lights have been turned off from the breaker in the basement.
Ethel? Are you okay? Why are the lights off?
She spots Ethel in the hallway, and that's where the video cuts out. In another video after this, Grace is just kind of like talking about her makeup. I think this was related to a previous video she had done about like lip liner or something. And she suddenly stops, and if we actually turn up the brightness on this video, we can see Ethel standing behind her, unnaturally tall, almost like she's levitating off of the ground. You can also kind of start to see this like clown makeup on her face, like the traditional, I don't know, like clown creepy makeup. Following this, we hear a strange series of noises from the basement. When Grace goes to investigate, Ethel runs at her from up the stairs. Grace screams and the video cuts out before we see what happens. She's still in that clown makeup in this video, and you can really get a better look at like what's on her face. After this, Grace catches a clip of Ethel crying in the bathroom with her arm kind of contorted really weird over her head. Once she realizes Grace is filming her, she lifts her head and throws something at Grace before the video cuts out. The caption reads, "I live with the devil." Now you might be saying to yourself, Grace, time to go, girl. Let's go. Get out of the house. And she finally does so. She winds up going home for Thanksgiving. I think she's from Canada just based off of things that she said, and also because her Thanksgiving was way earlier than Thanksgiving in the US. While she's away from the house, she finds something really weird.
This has been parked out here all night, okay? What the f is that? Like, I am far away from anything in Kingston. And I woke up and this thing was in my car. It's like a fire truck, but get this. It says keep back on the back of it.
Now, what I think this means, a lot of people said, you know, it means a ton of different stuff. Someone said it means lock your car, and someone else said it could mean that there's a fire at home. But I thought it actually was just pointing to that she was being watched, because actually in the background of this video, you can see a red truck in the neighbor's driveway behind her. When Grace does return home, she has this video of Ethel watching her sleep to share with us. Ethel is not stupid and does notice the camera after a while, and it's actually when she walks up to it that the video finally cuts out. And the roommate's behavior just gets increasingly weirder and weirder as the videos go on. In one video, we see her again in the clown makeup in the bathroom, and as Grace tells her to stop, she screams and runs at Grace. In the following video, we actually see her crawling on all fours on the ground, making really unnatural, like guttural noises. And she has this like black mesh covering her face, so you can't really see her. Grace then films herself walking past the living room. I think she was coming downstairs and just walking past the living room. And she notes a figure inside in a black cloak, sitting with its hands folded in its lap. When she realizes kind of what she's caught on camera, she backs up slowly to see if she can find Ethel again, but she's gone. This story seemingly takes a brief pause, and Grace kind of goes back to posting like normal content unrelated to any of this story, anything with her weird roommate. Nothing really comes up for a while, until January of this year, when it seemingly came to a very dramatic and macabre end. Grace returns to her house to find all of the lights in the home turning off and on their own.
Guys, I just came home from work and the light just... What is going on? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god!
In the video following this, she enters the home calling for Ethel. And in this video, Ethel does find her, and there's quite the jump scare to go along with it.
Ethel? Ethel? Stop. Stop it. Stop.
Now on January 30th, Ethel posts a message to Grace's TikTok account. And in the caption of the video, she says, "I buried Grace." There's a brief clip of her walking down the stairs of the basement to find almost what looks like a mannequin sitting in a chair in the basement. But it's Grace, and she looks a lot worse for wear. She's dirty, covered in dirt, like you would if you had been buried. And the video ends by Ethel saying, "And then I welcomed her to hell." Grace gets up from the chair, growls at the camera, and it all cuts out. And that's the end. So I think that it's very clear that this one is just like an alternate reality game. If that, I think these girls were kind of just fooling around. They probably didn't expect the first video that they posted to get so much attention. And the reason I feel so confident saying they're just messing around, like I put no validity in this being real, is, you know, they were tagging other creators in these videos. Actually, in the last video, Natalie the Sweetie was tagged, and she is really well known on TikTok for a really cool like horror character she's created and does all sorts of videos to. Some of them are kind of funny with her like demon character, and some of them are really freaky. I think especially the way that the roommate was running in like the second to last video, like I think it's obvious they were just joking around. But I had so many tags in it, I felt like I had to say something. It's still a really interesting account, and I think that both these girls are super creative, so if they want to move forward with a different horror project, I certainly would not complain. Next up, speaking of tags, oh my goodness, I've had so many tags in this series called the__fog. Sorry, my chair is kind of squeaky. I love it. It has a little pillow for my neck. It's so much more comfortable than like the dining room chair I was filming in before, but it's squeaky. This is a really interesting story that I have been following for a bit. I kind of cut myself short at a certain point of their uploads, and though I'm pretty sure they posted since I stopped keeping score, I just kind of wanted to recap the best I could, and then we can all sort of keep an eye on it together. The creator of this ARG did in fact like a comment tagging me in one of their videos, so I feel quite validated, and I always appreciate being included. So this series opens up with a very just unsettling video, for lack of a better word, of somebody filming the ground, just the dirt. And they say this.
Can you remember now? What did you do? Can you remember?
Can you remember now? What did you do? Can you remember? Now, I listened to this upwards of a dozen times just for the sake of writing out the script, and it took me a while to realize you can actually hear a man almost like groaning in the background or saying like, oh.
Can you remember now? Can you remember now?
The videos continue like this, and there's a plethora of them with the narrator continuing to ask the audience, can you remember what you did? Can you remember? What have you done?
Can you remember? Can you remember?
The third video on the account is pretty weird. It doesn't feature this like can you remember style narration over and over again. It actually features what looks like a bug person. Like it looks like a person crawling towards the poster. I could be totally wrong. There could be nothing in the woods and I was just sort of like making it up, but it looks like this really long-limbed, like skinny creature. It looks like a bug, like a stick bug. I don't know. Now, the letters that I hear some man saying at this point, to the best of my hearing ability, are AWEQRBEZH3. Caesar cipher with a shift of 13 is actually used later in this kind of alternate reality game in this series, but I couldn't find anything for this, so I don't know what it's supposed to mean. If anyone else knows, let a girl know. The videos that follow this are incredibly cryptic. Don't you want to live? Asks the narrator. Then duck. And in another she says, you don't have to be afraid, while showing blood on stones in the ground.
You don't have to be afraid. Can you remember?
In the next clip, the narrator sounds almost frantic as she says, he's coming. What did you do?
He's coming. What did you do? Can you remember?
Now, this is where we have our first example of Caesar cipher on this entire series. And one commenter actually pointed out that this jumbled text says, where are we going? Now, at this point, there's another comment on the TikToks that the poster actually reacts to. This commenter says, I've been trying to figure out what they're hinting at, but there are 0 clues.
I can help you remember, if you're sure you want to. Can you remember?
And in this video, the narrator offers her help while filming what looks like the word help etched into a chalkboard with either nails or chalk, and I don't know which. It's then in this series that we're introduced to 4 new accounts: the dirt, the paths, the numb, and the taker. There are videos from each of these accounts that I think really ties into this, but I'm gonna give you my kind of theory of what this all is alluding to. I think that the narrator is speaking to us as the audience if we are the person she's speaking to. If not, it is one person who has committed an unspeakable crime. I think that they took another life, followed the paths through the woods, buried this person in the dirt where they became numb and lifeless. The taker is the person in charge and is angry and is coming for whomever it might be that the fog is speaking to. This is just one kind of theory that I have, and it's why the narrator keeps saying, what have we done? What have we done? Because maybe if we can answer, we can start to find a way out. Maybe do something. I'm really not sure, but I do think this is super, super interesting and definitely one to follow.
Can you remember now? Can you remember? Can you remember?
Much like with the last story, this does not seem real to me in any capacity. I definitely think this is an ARG. I think most of horror on TikTok is an alternate reality game, and I get it. We can be kind of jumpy with things like the suitcase killer, which was a very real thing that did happen on TikTok. Like, it sucks, it's so sad, but it really did happen. I get that we're a little bit jumpy over things that happen on the platform, but with things like this, where somebody's created 4 accounts that all sort of communicate with each other, you know, nobody's gonna spend time doing that if somebody's actually in trouble, you know? Now, to cap off this 3 scary account roundup, I actually have quite the treat for you. I was gonna talk about the exits are missing, but holy freaking cow, that video, it has to be a video in itself. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't pay attention to the exits are missing because I have been ignoring the sky is missing, or where is the sky, or something like that, because it's just like a ripoff of The Sun Vanished. So I've been ignoring like all of those accounts that popped up, and I kept seeing tags in exclusively the exits are missing, and it is so, oh my god, it's unreal. It's so freaky. So I'm gonna have an entire video on that in itself. Anyway, the last account that I was tagged in, well, the video that I was tagged in multiple times, seems to be of a man wearing a skin suit, like a skin suit mask on his face. And he says the following.
Tell me you're a raging psychopath who hooks up with people on Tinder just to murder them and use their body as a skin suit, without telling me you're a raging psychopath who hooks up with people on Tinder just to murder them and use their body as a skin suit. I'll go first.
So he describes himself seemingly in this video as a raging psychopath who hooks up with people on Tinder just to murder them and use their body as a skin suit. That statement isn't funny. It was a funny video. Again, I think that TikTok can be a little bit jumpy over things like this, and I was seeing a lot of comments like, why do I feel like you're not kidding, or whatever, but I think it's important to recognize when art is art and when people are just storytelling. So this account in particular, drmars, is behind the video that I just showed you. He has a ton of content featuring this like original character that he's clearly put so much time and work into. People like the person who runs the drmars account are just enjoying being spooky with prosthetics and makeup and a lot of creative storytelling and acting. And there's nothing to be afraid of. It's like spooky in the most fun of ways, you know? Probably a great kind of prop to the creator that they are so unnerving in costume. But I really love this page. I was going down a rabbit hole just deep diving through all of this content, and I cannot recommend enough to you guys that you go and follow this person. And actually, I think it's their wife has a page under the name Nurse Nix on TikTok as well. And they create content both separately and together, and it's really, really, really fun. Kind of some cool sort of art pages to round off this list. I hope I never discourage you guys from continuing to tag me in things that you think are creepy. I still really enjoyed looking into that page and kind of following it, but at the same time, I also would never present it here as like, oh my gosh, this person is probably going on Tinder and hooking up with people and taking their skin. Like, I think it's very clear that it's storytelling, but it doesn't make me any less excited to see it. So 3 ARG accounts for you from the scary side of TikTok, 3 storytelling creepy accounts. I'll have them linked all down below, and they're all ones that you can follow right now and kind of keep up with the story. I feel like the Daily Grace is going to come back. I know that one kind of like rounded off in my first story, but they've gained quite the following from this. So something tells me maybe they'll come back for a little part 2, little something. Before I go, I wanted to quickly say I was only supposed to be gone for like a week off of YouTube, and I'm really sad that I was gone for 3 freaking weeks. Basically, I kind of felt like I needed like a get your life together week. I know I probably don't have to give you guys the excuses, but I'm going to anyway. I felt like I needed a get your life together week where I just kind of spring cleaned and did some stuff, and that wound up turning into 2 weeks, which then just turned into 3 weeks that I felt like I just needed some time to kind of get stuff together in my life. And there's a lot of really cool stuff coming up. I'm working on some really fun projects. I know that's the worst thing to hear because it's like I can't tell you right now, but I promise it's coming up and it's cool. I also have started streaming on Twitch under twitch.tv/LoeyStromboli, and as a result of that, I am uploading more and more onto my gaming channel. I kind of take those streams and I have my editor cut them down, and they're going onto my YouTube channel. So youtube.com/LoeyBug, I'll be a bit more active as well, and I hopefully will be back here posting videos every single week for you. For now, I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Don't forget to go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I want to say a big thank you to Allie for being a member of my channel, and you can become a member of this channel by pressing the little join button down below. You get 1 extra video per month that is exclusive to my members, plus one-on-one interaction with me, exclusive posts, so much more, giveaways. It's a good time. We're having fun over there. And I think that's all. I love you very much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.